woman, you have a more bigger responsibility ahead of you.
Your value is like
yes, it's way too more than that. So I like my ustaz a lot because he will come, open the Quran, they will give me dust, and I will look at it and tell them, okay, you know what's the meaning of this, and we go inside.
You always want to go into
I want to go into deep things, and that's what even pushed me to write books. Through that process, I developed the love for Islam so much. So when I went to grade 9, I went with, I can say grade 10, I went with my veil. The first day at school, I said I'm going to take the veil because I've seen the ayah in Surah An-Nur, and they have shown me what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have said about women veiling. And I went into Surah Al-Azab too. I see that, okay, this is the reality of life, and as a woman we have more purpose, we have a deeper responsibility than whatever the world is trying to give us. And I love Islam even more than ever before, and this is how I try to influence my friends that are beside me. So I said, okay, now I know this is not just me, there's something extra in me that I can actually do to inspire more people. In that process, I went to grade 10 with my veil coming down. When he saw the first page being on his name, and the way I talk about the things that we need, I sent in my letter and they approved it.
Wow.
Yeah, because I could remember I was the girl that read the Barrow's inaugural poem. 2019.
Awesome.
Yeah, 2019. I guess that's the time that he did the second swearing after the 2016 defeat. So
type of stories that you focus on. What are your type of stories that you more focus on when writing, and when you want to talk with the people, when you want to get connected to the people that you are speaking to? What are the characters that you find out? The type of stories that you want to touch on
is the issues we are
facing normally in the Gambia.
I always
in your environment.
Current thing, current thing I write about. When you look at my first book, I work on that book for almost 2 years before I come on spot, and within the year 2016 up to date, all the things that I've seen in our society that I feel like we need to say something about this.
They are happening. And they are
I captured it in the book.
On the book, yeah.
Yeah, as a poem. And when you look at that book, I've touched about
this is Lura, the ultimate boss in the building. I'm so glad to have a beautiful, a very promising lady that is in the Gambia, a young, dynamic lady, a writer, activist, a poet who started her writing career as a young girl, but with aims and objectives to inspire and change the acceptance that people build towards poetry in the Gambia. This lady is an author, poet. She is the author to the book Under the Spell of Poetry, Words of War, the president of Standstill Organization, the Gambia, the vice president
of Young Writers
Association, the Gambia. Saffiatou attended her Deeper Life School, primary and upper basic. She graduated from Gambia Senior Secondary School and then proceeded to American International University, West Africa, where she is studying computer science. Her first book, Under the Spell of Poetry, was a breakthrough in 2022, and she managed to sell 1,000 copies across the Gambia. I will just summarize a brief of her. Her books are available at Timbuktu, Suba Bookshop, Amazon.com, noblesandbarnes.com. Furthermore, she is one of our kind in the Gambia. I introduce you, Saffiatou, in the building. Saffiatou, you're welcome on the Ultimate Podcast.
Thank you so much for that. It's a long introduction. Intro.
Yeah, but I just want people to know a bit about you, and like I'm so impressed to have your bio online, and anybody that wants to know about her, the bio, her bio is on Google. Online. You can just type on Saffiatou Joof.
Just say Saffiatou Joof.gm.
.gm. You are gonna see her on Google, and it's impressive seeing you, a young lady, having this with your career.
Yeah.
So Saffiatou, you are all welcome on the Ultimate Podcast.
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to once again be here with you. I know that it's not an easy journey, but alhamdulillah, Allah has made it very, very easy. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, first of all, I would love to ask you a brief of who is Saffiatou, your birthplace. There is a culture in this podcast. Mm-hmm. Anybody that comes here, we really want to dig little bit about your childhood, mm-hmm. so that people can be connected before you venture into your career and stuff like that.
Okay. Thank you so much. As he rightly said, I'm your friend Saffiatou, known as Nakala Virtual Poetry. Mm-hmm. I am born in Sukuta, mm-hmm. but then I can say I'm raised in Sukuta, but mm-hmm. born in Serekunda. Mm-hmm. So my parents are based in Ibo town. That is my family compound. Mm-hmm. I'm a young girl who's studying computer science. Mm-hmm. It's a long story. To cut it short, is that I developed the skill of writing in 2015. Mm-hmm. So I'm having almost, let's say, 8 to 9 years into this field. Yeah, that's where I can stop. But again, I can add, I'm a businesswoman. I'm doing business aside, and also the secretary of Sotoma Industrial. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's talk about your childhood days. Let's talk about it deeper. Brief of your childhood days. How was your childhood days like?
Well,
like a normal
the way
Gambian
I was
kid, like a normal Gambian
it was really strict. I'm from a family background that is religiously conscious. So having been raised in that kind of light, I can say, it was really difficult. I was very speedy, stubborn.
Speedy in a sense.
Yeah, I was into life. But luckily for me, when I was young, my dad, as I turned 4, my dad gave me to my elder sister. So, the culture of Africans, when you are stubborn, they understand, okay, this girl might be something. They decided to give you to somebody that can control or tame you down. So, in that story, I moved to Westfield, where I stayed with my elder sister, going to school back then in Sokoto, transferred to Deeper Life Primary School, where I did my primary upper basic before I moved to Gambia Senior Secondary. And from there, I had been to Alliance. I did almost a year there. That is French. And then I moved to Quebec, spent few I can say months, because my plan was to travel. And when that doesn't materialize, I went back to Alliance to continue my French classes. Within time, I got an intern in the Smiling Coast. So I almost worked for 3 to 4 different real estate in the Gambia. And within that time limit, I was working, shaving. Alhamdulillah, I decided to open my own company. That is Rich Properties, which I was partnering with my elder brother. So in that range, I get to know more about write-ups in the late 2 years, when I was ready to actually come out on the spot to show my talents to the Gambia. Well, it was something really deep-rooted in me, because when I sat with my mom, try to ask her a few questions towards my great-grandparents, I got to learn that they were poets, and they wrote many books. One of them. So I can say this is something that is inside my blood. And when it emanates, I wasn't surprised. within that short period of time. Growing up was a very difficult time for me because, born in a family that is religiously conscious, and you were this independent-minded person. You do things only if you see proofs. I'm the type of child. I do things when you show me proofs. If you don't show me proofs, I cannot believe it. So my mom would be like, "You don't get bopa. You look is rec. Like you will not believe what people are saying." Even with the veil, I have to tell them, I need proofs. Because at the time I was really speedy. I put on short skirts. I don't go to clubs, yes, but I was moving with friends whom I know that by this time, if I wasn't taken care of, by this time I've been, in
another life,
in another state of life. But alhamdulillah, my sister is a da'i in the Gambia, a great da'i. She often would tell me, when we are going out, we need to go together for you to see what I'm doing. And in that process, I got to love the deen, because when I go to an environment where people are veiling, and often we are into the Quran, reading, practicing, you wake up in the morning, you have a routine. Because she's this type, she loves education so much. So she will tell you, frankly, if you want to stay with me, it's either you love education or I'm going to take you back to your mom's house. So it was a tough time, because to me, I was thinking that, okay, these people are trying to bring me into a life that I'm not comfortable with. Yeah, but I decided to listen. I said, okay, you know what? Hence my parents wants me to become somebody different. Let me try the route and see. And that's the time I adopted the veil, almost to going to my, I can say, grade 10, from that teenage life. Alhamdulillah, then my sister told me, you're going into a stage of puberty, so you need to decide the veil or the wali thing, or you're not going to live with me. And I was like, come on, how? I mean, things were coming up from upside down. I couldn't understand it first, because when you know me before, then they tell you this girl, she's gonna veil, you will say no, because the way she is. I love fashion. All my research and everything was into fashion, I can say. I wanted to be one of it. And, that is the modeling field. So my mom would be like, this is not the right way for you. I know you can do better. Your talent is not this way. So I'll be like, Mom, what do you mean by that? And she would tell me, because when you read more about the Quran and understand what is there, you will know that you as a woman, you have a more bigger responsibility ahead of you.
Your value is
yes, it's way too more than that. So I like my ustaz a lot, because he will come, open the Quran, they will give me dust, and I will look at it and tell them, okay, what's the meaning of this? And we go inside. You
always want to go into
I want to go into deep things, and that's what even pushed me to write books. Through that process, I developed the love for Islam so much. So when I went to grade 9, I went with, I can say, grade 10, I went with my veil. The first day at school, I said, I'm going to take the veil, because I've seen the ayah in Surah An-Nur, and they have shown me what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have said about women veiling. And I went into Surah Al-Azab too. I see that, okay, this is the reality of life, and as a woman we have more purpose, we have a deeper responsibility than whatever the world is trying to give us. And I love Islam even more than ever before, and this is how I try to influence my friends that are beside me. So I said, okay, now I know this is not just me, there's something extra in me that I can actually do to inspire more people. In that process, I went to grade 10 with my veil coming down, strict routine as usual. You have to study, go to Dara, from Dara you're back home, you have little time to play. The time I would get to say play around is at school. I don't get it at home at all, because it's very limited. So that strictness built me to where I am. And being in the house, they will give you books to read. My sister has have library, so she's very deep into advocating for women, and because she understands Islam and knows the value of education for that matter. So when we go out, she would tell me the books like that I have to focus on to read. In the process, I said, look, I need to do something, because I understand that majority of us as society, women, we believe that, okay, if you are not into the way of this life, you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah, you
believe you believe like without exposing your body, or without doing certain acts, or without being into certain groups,
like you're not successful.
You are not going to be successful. Because it will be hard for people even to notice what you have.
Yeah.
So in that process, I developed the love for reading, because I was more into mathematics. So at first my mom didn't understand. They said no, because Gambia, we know when it comes to poetry, it's like a fun thing that we have.
Yeah,
built.
That's the normal, fun.
It's a normal thing. We come, you do a cappella 1, 2, or you go to a place, they have a ceremony, they invite you, you just come and read poems for them, and that's it.
You were thinking beyond that.
Yeah, because for me, I always want to make impact in anything I'm doing. So when my mom said, this is not a field that I think it's good for you, I said to my mom, look, I think it depends on how are we, individually we are going to get into this thing. And I believe we can set the records and change the dynamic of this mentality. So I started getting into research about poetry, writing books, prose, and all that. I love what I was doing, and
I don't wanna cut off your conversation on your information that you are giving out. It's like you are even answering most of the questions that I've that I've stated here to ask you. But I really love the way you flow in with me. I'm getting to your story deep. But I just wanna lay in some questions with you before before you cut off my time and so. Yeah. So now there is a point that I want us to discuss before getting into deeper on your writing. Career.
Yeah.
Now, I want us to talk about your school days. Yeah, going to school, like you say, you were more concentrated, on books and stuff like that. You were more concentrated on your education. How were your grades? Like your grades in your school time?
Very good.
They were good.
Yeah. If you don't read, you cannot perform. In class. So you have to read very well and make sure that you excel in all the subjects. I could remember that there was a day, I have a teacher by the name Auntie Bola. We have about 12 subjects, in primary, and I did very well in almost 7 to 8 subjects. Then she looked at me and told me, if you cannot do well in all the 12, that I don't see you. The reason being is that when you grow up, you can choose any field to be. Okay, because that is going to help you also as a young person, for your mind to be that sharp to choose what you want to go in for. So that is something that I always urge my academy, students, that look, if you want to stand out, to be there, you have to make sure that you master everything that you're doing right now, so that when you get to that stage, you'll be able to choose what you want.
Now in school, you were just learning the basics. That is the basic cost of this. That is science and stuff like that. Then after completing your school, before writing, what was the target? Like, I just want us to flow. Like from there, then we get to you.
The target at that time was to become a mathematician.
Okay, mathematician.
Yeah. Though I was into fashion, that is, I like that area. So I was more focusing on which area do I think I need to focus on in the subject area for me to get.
You were into reading and
I was into reading.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And through that process, Dean, it's important in human nature. When I start doing research, contrast, I got to understand that, for me to be even more empowered, I need to understand my religion. So that pushed me more to read. So when we woke up,
reading both on the
I was reading both and novels.
And
yes. So I decided, I said, okay, this is human gift. Okay, a novel, sometimes you see certain novels that you will know, okay, it will thrill you, and you will know that, yeah, this is real gift, is beyond anything. But read about the Quran, you will understand that it's nothing. There's nothing compared to that. So I can say my knowledge developed more from the Quran.
From the Quran.
Yes.
Everything, all the spirituality.
Yes, that spirituality, the connections.
Yeah, everything.
Even with my books, when you read it, you will feel that spirituality in it.
Yeah.
So
I was to ask about that, like as a writer, what would you choose to be your spiritual animal? Like I was to ask that. Then it seems like you answering that question.
Yes, all right. It seems I'm getting to touch all the areas you want to ask me.
Yeah, a lot of them. Like even to ask here, like in the end of the interview, is any of your family members that is into writing that inspired you? It's like
you were asking me to go deeper into the stories of my life. That's what I'm trying to bring in.
I can connect.
As a child,
we can still flow.
Yeah, as a child, we've been guided.
Yeah.
If not, we will go astray. Because certain things are there we will love to do, and our parents will look at it and know that, okay, this is not your way. And they have to make an effort to make sure that you jubantela see you on correctly. And I thank my parents and family. Yeah.
Then you said you were to do mathematics.
Yeah.
Then how did you venture from being a mathematician to a writer?
All right, I have I had one private teacher. He's the one that used to tell me, if you want to be good in English, if you want to be good in mathematics, you have to be very good in English. Because maths is written into the language of what? English. So if you don't understand the language that you were learning at school, will you be able to calculate? Because they will tell you in the language of English, plus, minus. You have to understand that. If you don't understand it, they put sentences that are what? In English. You have to solve it. So this helped me to shift my direction. That look, I want to balance both. So I make sure when the English is good, the maths is also good.
It's gonna be.
When the maths is good, the English is also good. So I pay attention to these two. It helps me because one thing we have to notice in writing, you have to be a critical thinker. People can be here thinking about stuffs here. You are thinking beyond. So if you're not good in critical thinking and analyzing, you will have a problem. Because you will write at times, you get out of ideas. Yeah, and you'll be like, how can I connect the story again? You need critical thinking.
Yeah.
I see, like, in my society, there are certain things I want to talk about. When I want to put it into context for people to hear me out, I put it into writing. So that is another thing that attracted me into this field. And when I read all the inspiring poets, like the Bona, I like him. I often watch him online since I was young. So I do go to his, YouTube, follow up the things he posts and stuff like that. I sometimes have things to talk about, and I put it into poetic lines, stanzas, and people got to, contact me and say, I like the way you do things. This is so beautiful. You speak your mind into this so much with energy. I say, okay, that's right. So my first time that I noticed that, okay, there's something into this writing field and there's something unique in it, in me, is when I wrote the first poem towards They Overgrace Our Land. And that was about Africa.
Yeah, now you come in.
Yes.
You come into what I want to hear.
That Overgrace Our Land.
Yeah.
My sister took a video of me. We posted it on social media, and people calling left, right, center. Who is she? Who is she? And then I had one of an international poet. He usually come to the Gambia and go TM. He found out about me through my cousin. He came at home. We sat, and he told me, "I've seen one of your video." I said, "Wow." He said, "You're young, but there's so much in you that you don't even know." I said, "Okay." So then we spoke into details. He said to me, "You need to focus on poetry. You can be a great speaker for the underprivileged." And maybe on the side of a lot of things that are happening in your society, you could be a voice for it. And at that time, I just smiled. I said, but, this is just a first video that I shared. It's not even professional. I just feel like, I have to speak up towards this issue. He said to me, don't take it slightly. It's way too powerful than you. I say, oh, wow. Then that's the time I started focusing to write more and research more into poetry. I mean, in specific.
Perfect. Now that comes to my next question. Like, I'm flowing now with you, based on my arrangements. Like, I just want to flow with you, like, to the end. Now, when it comes to the concept and the type of stories that you focus on, what are your type of stories that you more focus on when writing, and when you want to talk with the people, when you want to get connected to the people that you are speaking to? What are the characters that you find out? The type of stories that you want to touch on
is the issues we are
facing normally in the Gambia.
I always
like normal in your environment.
Current thing I write about. When you look at my first book, I work on that book for almost 2 years before I come on spot. And within the year 2016 up to date, all the things that I've seen in our society that I feel like we need to say something about this.
They are happening. And they are
I captured it in the book.
On the book,
yeah, as a poem. And when you look at that book, I've touched about great politicians that are in the Gambia, that I know that they have done so much for us. And then went into details about abortion. I went into prostitution. I went into exposing certain corruption, I had blended a lot of topics into that book. So when it was out, people find it very, very touching, because you will read the poems and see yourself into those poems. So it was a surprising moment for many people. And alhamdulillah,
was any writing of that book and publishing it, does it change anything in you? Like, for the first time, like, publishing that book, does it change anything on your mindset and on your as a writer? Like,
it changed a lot in me. It makes me even think beyond in my second book.
Okay.
Because as a writer, you're supposed to bring in things at a greater good. That is, you talk about things, at the same time you bring in solutions. That's what I do in my books. When I talk on things that I know that, okay, this is going extreme, I will bring in solutions within that book. So I can say it's a learning method, and it changed in everything that I'm doing.
Now we're talking about writing 2 books, flowing, still writing. Now, at which stage of your age, like, in which stage did you start writing, like, that first book, in which stage, like, in which of your years did you start writing, like, compared to now, like, those days you were writing, and, like, you were telling me that the book that you wrote, like, has touched many people, and, like, now you've seen a bigger picture and, like, you've seen more widen on your topics and your stories. On which stage of your age and your career did you start writing that book, like,
okay, I started,
like, in which age, like?
I did my first publication in 26. 26. Yes.
Okay.
Right now 28. I'm turning 28 this May, inshallah. So I got my second
writing. When you were writing the story, it was in which age?
Right.
Like,
that is like in my
24.
No, it's early 19.
19?
Yes.
You started writing that
I started writing
that book.
Yes,
the
gathering the poems.
Yeah. Okay.
Early 19.
Then
And
you
at that time,
the book.
I completed the book after, like, I started, let's say, I gathered the point at early 19, but I focused on the book to be completed in after 23, 24. Yes, 23. 23. That's the time I started getting very focused with the book to make sure that this thing is done and out. And around after 2 years, 23, 24, 25, I decided to come out with that first book. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, we are going to flow on a lot of things. We are going to talk about the marketing of your book. How did you get into the marketing of your book? We are going to talk about the online. How did you get connected with the online and publishing the book online, like Amazon and all the other stuff? We are going to talk about that. Now, we are going to flow on from there. Now, like, having the book on written documents and stuff like that. So how was the journey for you to get into, like, the publication and everything, like, you know, for you to have the book on? At that time, when I started...
Like,
who supported you?
Modulamin H.L. Musafsa is part of those that has supported me. When I told him I'm about to release a book and I need some few guidelines about publication in the Gambia, we went aside to Leprisen. We sat there, used the Wi-Fi, and then he went through the work and looked at it and tell me, this is great. And he said to me, you know what, try and liaise with Sabli. Yeah, Honorable Sabli. And I said, okay, I know SAPS very well because the then Daily Observerite, I was writing on that blog. And I was very young at that age, I can say. That's way too back, 10 years back.
On which column were you writing on?
Daily Observer. Daily Observer. He was the director in there. Director. So at that time, when I knew about him, I told him, like, I'm into writing poems. And he said, okay, henceforth, whatever you wrote, try and send it to me through the email, and we will have it edited and put it on the column, the blog for the newspaper. And that is also part of the things that motivated me to push into poetry. So when I got my work, I would just have it at my cupboard, keep it. It gave me great joy to see that, okay, this is something that people are going to read on the newspaper. So it gives me more spirit.
More spirit,
to write.
Yeah. Then from there, like, you contacted SAPS. Then before the production, how did it?
He guided me through. That is, I have to go and meet with Hasum Sise, and
to register the book. And
he has to give me the stamp for this thing. How to say, copyright protection, because it's very important as a writer that your work is protected. And again, to go through the poetry book and see whether it's fit for purpose and
whether it is not copyrighted too.
Yes,
from other
correct. So SAPS went through the book and he was impressed, and he told me we can go in for the luncheon, inshallah, whenever you are ready. I'm ready to support, I can. So I went to Hasum. I sat with him. He went through the book, and he hugged me and told me, you have done something that is very rare. That is this voluminous book, because that book contained 114 poems. Wow. So it was an impressive moment for him, and he connected me with one of the Italian publisher, a woman, and she came, interviewed me inside his office. Then from there he called SAP, and they gave me Mr. Fode Balde number, that is the editor, and I gave him the poetry book. He went through it.
Then it was on papers?
No, at that time the book wasn't on papers.
It was on, like,
in my I've printed
document, printed already.
I've printed out already. So from there, Mr. Balde went through the book and told me the poems are very powerful. And then I smiled. I say yeah. But he told me, you will not understand what you have done until when it's out. And alhamdulillah, he did wonders and edited.
On which side? He edited the
he edited the book, the whole book. And from there I went in for the printing service. I wanna flow with you a little bit. Like, I'm learning from your conversation. Now, if we say editor, what is the importance of the editor? What does he do? They vet the book. They look at it and see and whether it's fit for purpose. And also, poetry has some rules and regulations. So they look at it and see whether this book is of the
Standard,
means
yeah.
of standard.
Yeah.
So when he looked at it, he told me we can go ahead with this.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Okay.
approve it.
Now
It's a sign of
I'm flowing now.
it's approval.
Yeah. Okay.
All of them have went through the book,
Yeah,
and
okay.
they see that the work is epic.
Yeah, it
and
can fit to be
out.
international.
Yes,
Yeah.
to the market.
To the market.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. We went to the printing service also. They charged us. And I came home. My first surprise was one of the philanthropics called and told me I'm going to...
In where?
He's in America.
America. It's a Gambian?
Yeah, it's a Gambian.
Okay. How did he notice?
Because he has been following my work.
Yeah, but they sent him a copy of your book before?
No, I just told him that I've wrote a book. Out of that happiness,
yeah, really?
he sent me 100,000.
Oh.
Straight, and said to me, I want this book to be launched as quick as possible. So we went on to start strategically, write our flyers, share it across people, everybody coming on board, companies. We reach out to them and they say, this is great. We are going to support you.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So how was the feeling? How was the feeling like? How was the feeling?
Allah just put barakah in everything. Yeah, anywhere I've been to, Allah just, it's like the doors are open. Because most of the time what they would tell me is that it's very rare to see a young girl like you thinking this way. So we need to come and support you. And alhamdulillah, I had a lot of opportunities from that first book. Yeah, and the love that
now let's talk about the next step, which is very important and which is very amazing from you. Like I've seen your book published in many websites like Amazon.
Yeah.
Like was it from the first book?
Yeah, it's from the first book we got that. The Ministry of Tourism. When I went there to talk to them about my work, upon seeing it, they realized that okay, we have seen the flyer online, we have seen your work, how it's going. Immediately they approved that luncheon and decided to take care of the hall.
The hall?
Yes, the entire hall. And they told me, you don't need to worry about that part, we'll take care of it. I was really surprised, and the government as well, because inside that book, the first 10 pages, I wrote different politicians. So when the president saw himself in there...
Which president then?
The president,
now,
the current one.
The current
that
one.
is President Barrow. Yeah, when he saw the first page being, on his name, and the way I talk about the things that we need, I sent in my letter and they approved it.
Wow.
Yeah, because I could remember I was, the girl that read the Barrow's inaugural poem.
Oh,
2019.
awesome.
Yeah, 2019. I guess that's the time that he did the second swearing after the 2016 defeat. So it was a touching thing for me and a breakthrough, because I never thought at once that we will change the face of poetry, in the sense that we will embrace it into a book. Those Saps and others, there are others who were into poetry, but the
breakthrough you had,
we had
so fast,
within a year, we just have to work extra time to come and conquer the market. It's not easy, and we have a lot of writers out there who are much more better than me. So I guess it's just Allah. Yeah. Mashallah.
Yeah. Awesome. Like from your discussion and your conversation that we are having, you see how you flow in now, and everybody that is watching you right now is gonna learn a lot. Because Mashallah. I've been online, I've been going through a lot of writers. Like the first day we met, I told you that I've knew some other writers, but I haven't seen your work. But when you presented your book to me and you sent me your auto, your bio, I've gone through your, bio online. I was like, yo, this is amazing. This is just top notch. This is the next level. The other thing is that I want us to talk about the online publication. How did it all, went to finalize everything? Then you launched it online, and you on your bio, you stated that you sold 100,000 copies.
1,000 copies. Yeah, on my first publication.
So was it the end of the production, or you copied more?
I copied more.
You copied more.
Yes.
Then how
right
did you,
now?
To estimate,
we have sold almost like 1,200.
Okay.
Right now, since 2022,
yeah,
up to date,
okay,
we have sold 1,200. Because some of the Amazons, that we sold online, people are really supporting, because I want us to sift the dimension. Most of the time people say, no, I want the hard copy here. So the people that are out there, before they get the book, is a problem. So with Amazon, they made the business very easy for me.
Yeah, that was the idea that I want us to discuss about. How did it came about for you to?
All right. At that time, I have made enough research, and my focus is not to sell in the Gambia alone. I want my book to be in the international market and compete with other writers, because that is going to even build something else in me. Sorry to say, but Gambia market is very slow.
Yeah, it's slow. And
so I need a competitive market that will make me work harder, and that's why every year I must come with something. You cannot just sit like that. If not, you're going to slack in the business. So it's something that I love and enjoy doing, and in that case, I need to build also revenue out of it, because we have billionaires that are writers. When you go on YouTube, we have seen writers being, from all sorts of expertise, and you can say that at the end of the day, they write books for people to benefit from it. And I said, why not? I have to take this opportunity and expose, bring that exposure to the Gambian market. Not only to focus on the Gambia, but go beyond. We have to think beyond as youth.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's talk about from there, to your second book. Let's talk about your second book.
The second book, I wrote that within 8 months.
8 months. What is the name of the second?
After is the Words and War.
Yeah. What is the story behind that?
The Words and War, when you read it, you have kuma. It's like in Mandinka, kuma bakelela kuma kona, right? You will read in the words. You are not going to only benefit, but you're going to see rhymes into the books, and there are poems that I continuously rhyme, and that brings me into the Words and War. And again, when you read the words, they kind of rhyme into the book, and you are not just going to read and get the pleasure of reading, but you will see certain rhyme words that I will use in to make it more spicy.
Spicy, yeah. Like now, I'm trying because if anybody that is watching us right now that haven't read the book yet, what is gonna be the touching point, or what is gonna be the thing that he's gonna be expecting in the book to make him read the book? That's why I was asking you what is the inspiration, or what is the story behind the book? What is the book all about? Yeah. Does it have characters?
No,
you are writing into characters, or no, you are not picking.
I'm not into characters.
You are into poetry.
I am into poetry.
Okay. Okay.
But we will come into the prose side.
Yeah.
Later this year, inshallah. But so far, so with the kind of poems that you will find in that poetry book, one of it that touched me most is the Palestine. I talk about the issue right now that is in Palestine. For the war to get off and put a stop to the war. At least they need to consider the humans that are being lost. It's not something that I'm happy about. And they're Muslims, they're humans. We don't have to treat them like animals. So therefore, my heart and soul is with us. And I really made an emphasis on that part in the book. Again, outside of our parent, motherhood is the most difficult aspect that one can think of. So I do cry out my heart into that book towards the need for you and I to treasure our mothers. We can't bear them. So there's a part I dedicated it to our mothers. Again, the crisis we are facing as a country, when it comes to corruption, when it comes to the insecurity right now, security crisis that we have in Gambia. So these are stories, I can say poems, that when you read them, you will see what I'm saying.
Yeah. So what is the trickiest thing about writing a book or writing a poem, connecting it from the beginning to the end? What is the trickiest thing on it?
This thing, when you're into it with time, it becomes a gift.
Gift, yeah.
So I'll be on a particular topic.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I will lose appetite in it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to talk about, but I'll just type it in my tablet, iPad, and just park it. And the next 1 hour, my mind will fresh on that topic again. I'll go back to it to finish it up. Yeah. So sometimes it's funny when I'm sad, I write more than when I'm happy.
Yeah. Now the other side is that I want to ask about is that I'm learning from the conversation and from our podcast. When in music, there is one trick in writing music. When you are talking about a love song, like when you intro a love song, the whole story, the whole everything, lyrics, everything supposed to be connected to that love song, the title. So how about poetry?
Yeah, when you are deep into poetry, you may turn to become a musician. Because when you look at a musician, the rhyme in the words and the way they flow is. I used to tell people, that most of the time when you look at the top people that are into music, and when you go into their rhymes, you can see there's poetry inside it.
Yeah.
So it's something spiritual. Sometimes you get into a topic, you feel like you are to pour your whole heart into that, and the inspiration will just come gradually, and you will develop more into it, and you have more rhymes to put into place, and more standards even. So it's a spiritual thing sometimes.
Awesome. Does anyone in your family member read your book who also was like kind of super?
My sister, my other sister, that's not the one that raised me though, but we connected so much into reading and all that. The first time she read my book, she cried.
Like seriously?
Yeah.
Was he like, are you the really one who wrote the book? Like, was he surprised?
She knew that was something.
She wasn't surprised.
She wasn't surprised.
She wasn't surprised.
Her only thing was like, I'm young. Yeah, she couldn't believe that I'll come up with that kind of age that I have, and being brave enough to bring out certain things.
Yeah, the mindset that you had by that time.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I can see she's really proud of you.
Yeah.
Is she the only one that reads your book?
My mother, so my mother is into Arabic.
Yeah.
So my mother, I read some part of the book for her. That is, I read it and translated for her to understand what I've written. And alhamdulillah, she, that's the time she told me, the story. I just said, towards my great grandfather was a poet. He's not cognitive seeker. So the story of this great, people that we were having in Africa that passed away now.
Why? Come Hasim lum janga rek. Hasim ku nekk
One day go back in again. I don't know how you guys call it. So it's like
there's stories.
Yes.
About heroes, about towns, kingdoms and They're right, yeah.
He doesn't sing, he write, he only write, and he will give it to the boys.
Comme Serigne Touba rek ak Sey Ibra Fall Sey Ibra Fall xam nga daf dee binda lii nii daf daan binda waaye mu paak waaye.
So my great grandfather was that, and it means it's natural. So xam nga sit ak te waale. Yeah.
Who's your biggest supporter like in your career right now, like to be more specific, like
biggest supporter right now? He's not here. He's in Iran. He's the biggest supporter.
How does he support you, like motivationally, or advising, or financially?
He said to me, "You have a future, and I'm not looking anything into it. I just want to support you." Yeah, he's my biggest support.
How did you see writing in the Gambia? Like, if someone was like to go into writing, like right now in your stage, what are the challenges that you faced? Like the advice that you are gonna give to the person, like if you start, had you known this was how you're gonna be like venturing into some certain challenges, the advice that you are gonna give to that person, like
the advice I'm supposed to give to the young people is patient.
The young writers.
Yes, you have to be patient. Read more. Research more. Because you need that to develop yourself first before anything else. When you develop yourself enough, anything that you touch, you're going to create massive noise inside. Because you'll be totally unique. Why I said patient, some will discourage you. Yeah? But focus, read. This is what you want to do? Go for it, read. Some will come and even tell you on your face, this will not hear anything. You're just disturbing yourself. Close your eyes and ears. Be patient. It will pay off. When you put that persistence and passion towards the thing that you want to do, you're going to marry. Today, if I can, anyone else can come and make.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you prescribe any writer in the Gambia? Can you muna joxoñ comme si Gambia fi nga ne she's a writer, come like I read her book, but
I've read Escobar, I've read right now what I do is I'm buying my own Gambian writers and reading it because I want to know their level of capacity,
their mindset, they think,
in order for you to come up with something extra, you have to know the society and how they think. So that you can think
beyond that,
in order to build standard. So I'm trying to connect with all the young writers in the Gambia. My aim is to I'm planning something big, me and that. Inshallah, I haven't disclosed it, but I'm working on it. And when the time comes, inshallah, I will reach out to all the Gambian writers in the Gambia. But so far, I'm very impressed with some of them. The way they articulate their work, their books in specific. Yeah, I'm really impressed.
Like in productive wise, like how can we describe, your journey right now, like the productivity of your journey, like come how far, like the earning and everything, like come.
I've been into writing less than 2 years.
Is it pain?
And I can tell you, it's challenging, but so far the record I've put across that needs extreme work. I mean, extra work to get there.
Yeah. How far are you struggling with your marketing? Like me personally, like
marketing only at night. I make sure at least part of my sleeping 2 hours.
I spend my time on that and not because most of the people that are not in Gambia, we know the time differences. So sometimes I'm at night, they are just entering the day. For the sunset.
Right.
So I have to be up and try to be in touch with people, talk to them, customer care.
Yeah, through online or through.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
All the networks. I used. Yeah, I come across all the networks. In any place I know that there are potential clients that I can find.
Like readers.
Yeah, I went into Facebook, Instagram, I went into Twitter.
Do you know anything about like email marketing? Are you into email marketing?
It's part of digital marketing.
Digital, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so sometimes people you contact and they'll tell you, send me, and so when they send in their email, you just send in the details to that email and you follow up. So and anybody that I'm in touch with, I have my book record. I'll come and write the person name. In the places, in a week time, I will write in a week time. So when I come to my book, marketing record book, I look at it, I say, this is so person, say in a week time. I think it's in a week time. I'll have to consult the person again and say, hi, how are you? You good? It's okay, 1 or 2. I guess you needed my book, right? Say, yeah, you say in a week time I can contact you. And that's how they say, yeah, of course I have to do that. Let me buy it. And this is how I make online. So alhamdulillah, Amazon is working.
Okay, awesome.
Compared to
yeah, good to know. Yeah, like, and also like the journey like that the one you started right now, like are you into like online publications, like getting into podcasts, shows, or going to TVs, doing.
This is the first podcast that I've done.
Yeah.
Such a platform.
Yeah, like because I think that you need to be in many platforms like to sell your work out there, because if you just lean back in a very comfortably like being online, just talking to people like just like that, it's gonna be a little bit different. But I know when Gambians start to notice the person you are and the thing that is inside you, and many people will start supporting you, even like watching this video, sharing it to many people and cutting some of your conversation and sharing to the people. And to everybody that is watching this podcast, if this is your first time seeing her interview, please, we want you to share the interview to many people as you can. We need to at least market this lady here to many people and to everybody that is a lover to reading and writing and everything. She needs to be known to the world. Saffiatou is just exceptional. She is just inspirational to many of the young people out there right now. Like, let's talk about your next level. What is your next target right now? What are you cooking?
This might be a big surprise for my readers. And so far so good. Maybe most likely we will publish 3 books.
Wow.
Yeah.
This year, 2024.
Yeah, this year 2024. And we're targeting key areas that I believe. Yeah, for now, we are working on it. So when it's done, inshallah, I will announce it.
Like you said the other time, you are into business too. Like, apart from writing, what other thing are you more engaged on?
I'm the secretary of Sujuma Industry and Commercial.
So what do they do?
Into real estate.
Real estate, okay.
Yeah, of course.
As a marketer or?
As the admin manager.
Okay.
Yeah, and my brother we manage it. So alhamdulillah, so far so good. When it comes to the side of marketing, when I'm doing the marketing of my book, other side I do market my work as well.
Awesome.
So alhamdulillah, things are going better. Fine.
Would you say something about you what your readers did not know about you? Anything that you can share with your readers or the people that are watching you that they do not know about you?
Should I share something that my readers don't know?
Anything personal.
Okay, they'll be like, you need to get married. I tell them, okay, when the time comes, so yeah.
How far are you working on that?
I'm really working on it.
If you had to take 3 people on a dinner, like 3 people, like right now.
Whom should I pick? My eldest sister and one of my best friend.
Male or female?
Female.
Female, okay.
Yeah.
What is the name?
Fatima.
Fatima, okay. Fatima, you had a, like, I will be part of the dinner too. Don't worry. If you had to describe yourself in 3 words.
I'm simple. I hate lies. And I love reading.
Awesome. If you had to cure any disease in the world right now, like any disease.
Any?
Disease in the world right now.
If I'm to cure.
Yeah.
AIDS.
AIDS.
I really want to cure for it.
Mentally disease, then which kind of disease will you cure?
Mentally. Drug abuse.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any plan in the future being a politician or going into politics?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
As a president?
I know it's a big surprise to you. It's going to be a big surprise to many people. But yeah, I'm going to say it in this platform. I will go into politics.
Really?
We need to. You know, one of my stars do say,
are you ready for that challenge?
I'm working on it. And I will unveil it very soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, because you know why? I'm waiting for certain things for us to get it done, but we will participate big time. Women have to get up and participate in politics. It's high time. Gambia. I'm not seeing things the way, the way things are going. I'm not happy with it.
Yeah, like in Africa, they think that politics is always meant for old people or the older people that are already like they send mindset.
All of what we have. If all the people that are performing very well, they say, okay, we have to relax back and leave. The other people that we believe, okay, these people even they didn't reach to that standard to rule us. What will happen to the society? We'll always cry for help. Yeah, so women, we have to participate in politics. That's for sure.
Yeah. Now, do you see writing in any form of spirituality or like nahanga wa has writing come the first spiritual the day you see you come naturally and the first spiritual naturally. It's not anything spiritual to you like
come somewhere naturally. Sometimes you are not into the mood, right? Okay, but when it comes, I might give you more.
Then is it spiritual or can you call it spiritual to you? Like because not like it's not like anybody that can do it. Not anybody that can write. People might have a story or anything that is stuck into their head that they want to express, but they can write it.
You're right. You can say it's spiritual. You can say, yeah.
Awesome. Nice to have you.
Thank you so much. I think you
are so inspirational. Like I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much. I just want to say a big shout out to Sedika for opening this opportunity for me to meet you.
Yeah, it's Allah. Still, I will just come back to your words. Allah. It's God's will.
Allah, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why like I met her at Sedikan's restaurant. I went for a lunch. I took my lunch like just finished taking lunch. Like Sedikan just introduced me to her. Like I just came, we greet each other, we share contacts. I saw the book that she wrote on the table. I was like, yo, sister, you have to come on the podcast.
Thank you.
Finally, she's here like.
Because I know you are an amazing man and you do amazing things.
Yeah, like I told you, like, the platform is here to showcase every Gambian talent. That is, like I can call you an artist. I can call you anything like that is deeper than even an artist. Like you there to change lives. And like that's why I was telling you that you have to connect with the people. Like you have to connect in many ways. Like it's only in the Gambia. It's only in the Gambia. Like you see people into things that people need to know. Like they behind the scenes. Like loud.
A lot of us are not vocal. That's not a problem. Maybe when you go out to interview people, that's the thing. Like you hear them say, no, I'm shy. I cannot be shown on TV or I cannot be shown on this. We have to get up and speak up as people if we want to move forward. As a society, we need to connect to the world. And right now, things are not what we have seen here. It's beyond that. We need to go for it.
I have a few questions for you before you leave the podcast. And they are going to be critical questions too.
All right.
You know,
let me pray.
Like bloggers, writers, you know, social media pages holders, like we see what's on Gambia, we see Fatu Network, Fatu. There are a lot of writers. Those days we had this Freedom Gambia. How will you describe these people nowadays in the online, you know, space? The energy that they are putting to Gambians and the type of, you know, the type of stories that they are bringing up. How can you describe the stories to as a person, as a Gambian, like?
As a Gambian, like how do I view other medias?
Medias, like the stories that they put into Gambians, like, and how will you describe it, and what do you have to say on that? Let's talk about the type of stories first.
Okay, the type of stories. It's basically what we are going through as a society. That's what they are.
Are you saw?
And towards, I can say government works. That's what I've seen. Then bring it politics.
Let's talk about. I'm gonna be critical. Let's talk about what's on Gambia. Going through what's on Gambia page as a writer. Does it worth reading what's on Gambia page, like every day, like?
Yeah.
There's some other information that they portray. They can be positive on people's life, but other stories that they've been writing did they work?
Let me tell you, some of their stories are worthy, but some are not.
Yeah, that's the side of it what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
because looking about the pages that
most of the time I do message them sometimes on certain stories, and I upload them for that, because maybe I didn't get enough information about that story. And once they wrote it on their page, I'll connect that. Oh, I've seen this, and yeah, they are actually right about this. So that's something I really like about that page. Yeah, and you know.
Yeah, you've been positive. But I don't want you to be negative on the certain side. I know you've been positive.
For me,
I know you've been
straight.
Yeah, you've been straight. But there are certain stories. I think Gambia is a nation whereby the ignorance and the educational backgrounds of many Gambians are really lacking. I know when people are reading most of these stories, they easily connect. It's very important to bring stories that are more like enlightening to the public and that are more truthful. I don't know whether you are talking about, whether you understand what I'm trying to say to you.
The stories that can bring impact into people's life. Is that
people's life? Yes, still they bring impacts to people's life.
Yeah.
But some stories are there. I don't think the typical Gambian need those kind of stories for now for development.
People can judge them for themselves, because certain stories for me personally is not worth it for me.
Okay.
You understand? I will see certain stories. I will know that this is not worth it for me. This is not. It's not like you're going there and find yourself to be totally agree with everything that's coming on board. Certain things are there, you will know deep in your heart.
But do you understand that? Do you understand that many Gambians, anything that what's on Gambia writes, they think that is true?
I'm not part of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Others may, but I'm not part of those Gambians that
okay.
believe in whatever medium brings in, and I say yes to it. Most of the time, I put more questions than I agree.
But than agreeing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the point that I'm trying to portray to the people here. Like there are stories that people write on their blogs. It's very important for us to know how to digest, verify and digest.
Not everything that the media give you.
Digest it.
You have to dig deep. If you have the accessibility, certain stories are there. I look at it and know that they miss the point. What they want to talk about is not really that. You know that this is not it. But there are certain stories that will come up and you will say, these stories are what?
Awesome. And congrats to we are saying congrats to what's on Gambia too. Like we really appreciate the work that they are doing, despite everything or the other side of it, the negativity that people do see on them. There is always the positivity too. For me personally, like I'm really I want to put this on to them. Like, we have to be very careful of the Gambia now, because we're living in an era whereby, like, the whole world is developing. The whole world is going to the next level. You understand? It's good for them to bring some other issues on the public, but there are some certain issues they need to resolve them under.
What I'm trying to see from your point is less than Gambia at times.
At times.
Yeah, I see that we're supposed to look into stories that we share is going to cost us later in terms of investment.
Like looking at the West. Let's take an example on the West. This is critical and it's serious. Looking at the West has a lot of misunderstandings. They have a lot of critical stuff going in their countries. But when you look at on CNN, they portray mostly the most beautiful part of their side. Mm-hmm. And the media is very, very critical too. Like anything that you sell, there are outsiders that are watching. There are outsiders that want to come to the country and invest in the country. They want to put something in the country. Yeah, if you discourage everybody about your country, it's like, who is going to come?
But when you look at it, I know, there are certain stories that I will look into. I say, this one's supposed to be resolved under, rather than exposing.
Okay.
Because it's going to cost us, as I said, it's going to cost us in some aspect at times. But we are in a world where people like car too.
Car. That car, can Gambia handle the car always? Like the way the Gambian handles car is like...
You can. I mean, when you go to the comment section, people can really handle cars. Everybody is eager to know the next episode.
It's like recently Gambians always want to hear about car. Like there are positive people, there are positive things that we can sell out from Gambia, than the cars. Always the car, like the car. That's what I'm talking about. Like come like always. Then they them see pages. Like that is all the pages. Like recently I've been checking all the pages. Dama de wane legi hana ñu janga be mëna binda ñu mëna binda hana amuñ Gambia. Ndax ñu mëna binda amuñ Gambia. Comme Gambia always dañoo seet tey nii soo ñëwoon fii sax duñ xool léegi lu positif si sa podcast bi de dañoo dem xool lu nga xamante nii moo gën a négatif si sa life. su nekkoon ne da nga naretoon ne amoon naa doom ak kenn biroon naa lii nii duñ naret yow sa positive side bi de sa book baa ngi Amazon nañ dem ñu jëna ko de dañoo demoon xëy writer boobu noonu moo fi daa binda waaye amoon na doom si age am bi. That's the only type of stories I see online. Those are the type of things I'm trying to...
I have a point that you were saying.
Yeah.
I'm on the channel. I wrote an article, an analyst, and it went on. My friends started calling, whatever that. You've been widely criticized, Sophia, and some people were like, some claim that, she doesn't like us, it goes to an extent. They said we're gonna threaten her about her privacy and all. You understand?
Yeah.
For them to come and counter what that article is trying to say, they want to defame that character, which is not me. I tell them, I said, this is media, and I'm ready to face it, because I am already trained in that kind of a system. That is, this media, prepare, good or bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to portray right now here. Like the other side of it is that, like I've seen to the extent whereby like people now are getting people threatened about their personal issues, even going into their marriage status, going into their privacy, taking it to the great bantaba, like they call it.
Yeah.
Mun naa nekk underground may wax yow si text message like comme ma chase la rek yow nga screenshot suma message bi ma dugal ko online. Does it worry? Like all the issues that we
let's ideally deal with people based on issues that are happening.
And they have better issues
and
they are
rush into the privacy of people trying to silence them. It doesn't work for everybody. Not everybody, and let me tell you, people are different. We are created differently, and you might be talking about somebody. You might not know that person who knows million things about you and didn't say it. Because we all cannot be the same. So to me, I take it like it's too low for me to come on board to look into the character of somebody trying to defame that person. If you talk about something, if that idea that you have spoken, I want to challenge you on that. based on ideas of what you have posted, but not to go into a character or trying to assassinate you. When you see, I call it, they are enemies. It's jealousy. It's out of jealousy. Because you knew that maybe what this guy is doing, you cannot do 10 times with that. So the only thing you resort to, you have to go into her character. And there's a problem. As a young girl, you're coming up. Obviously, people will like you. People will love you. People will approach you for support. You understand? And you think, okay, if you are to come and use that against her, you're going to suppress her work. I'm not that type of girl. I tell them. The time I started getting into media, I get prepared for it. And I'm ready to face it one by one. Because I know, if you want to go far, obviously there will be dogs behind your back at you. So you don't have to look back to see who's back. You have to look front. And that's what I believe in.
Yeah, if you so I want to send any message to the young Gambians right now, the Gambians that are watching you, the younger ones, what would be the message right now?
The message. I'm saying we need to upgrade ourselves, our senses.
The mindset.
Yeah. That's a big problem.
Big problem.
And sometimes I look at things, and the funny part of it, you are writing about something that you know deep in your heart, this is not true. You're just deceiving yourself. When you are into such a platform, try and set the positive side of what we have and you move with that. And also, don't be too negative in everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes, accept people's opinion. You cannot be right always. I cannot be right always. I cannot come on my page and say anything I will, people cannot put their opinion on it. No. But then it's very good when we put our opinion, you come in and do it in a respectful way. I mean, the world is moving. So I believe also there's lack of exposure.
In the sense of lack of
in the society, majority of us.
Lack of exposure, like the knowledge.
You can have knowledge and you're not exposed. You don't have
the experience. Yeah, okay.
So this is something important in human.
Yeah.
If you don't have experience and you don't make research and see the level of growth that other countries are doing, you're gonna lag behind. You see that those people are going to an extra mile. You are behind, going after somebody, trying to defame that person for what? If you see that, okay, I've seen you doing podcast, let me come to you and learn and see how do you make it. What can I do to be better than you? Or even do more than you? This is how we can do
evolve.
Things positively.
Yeah, and evolve.
But I cannot come behind you trying to
bring you down.
Assassinate you, to bring you down.
Yeah,
okay, if I bring you down, what am I going to benefit from it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the issue here.
It's not a way. So I believe Tolbe mo halaga dimamiyan ko alayso hakiwala. And we need to look beyond the mirror, of what we see.
In front of us.
In front of us.
Yeah, we have to think.
There are bigger things. There are bigger things ahead. Let's go for that. If we are to compete, that's natural. In doing better, sometimes you have to compete with yourself. That today, last year I said, under the spell of poetry, and this, year before last, brother, I said under the spell of this year. Last year I said what's and what, and this year I want to say something else. And how can I bring them to bring a massive change in the things that I'm doing? What can I bring that will be a wow to the eyes of the people? This is what you have to think. And we cannot just go back to the ancient time of how people are behaving. We need to go beyond the scope of what we've seen.
Awesome. Yeah, let's talk about the on people, how to get to you, and if people wanna get in touch with you on getting your book, or if people wanna get your book online, that is Amazon. What are the procedures like?
It's just on. You have to type SAFFIATOU WhatsApp. You're right.
Yeah.
WhatsApp SAFFIATOU.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see the information on Google.
Yeah.
Just go on Google, type WhatsApp SAFFIATOU or on the spell.
That is the name of the book.
Yeah, under the spell of God.
What's on war?
What's on war?
Yeah, what's on war?
Under the spell of God is SAFFIATOU, and you'll be able to see all the details, information.
Okay.
And just on Amazon.
Yeah, you order. And that is the people that are outside the Gambia, even the people in the Gambia here?
Yeah, Amazon supplies.
Yeah, worldwide,
so
okay.
When we are in the Gambia here,
you can get it through DL?
Yeah, but if you need the hard copy, as I said, you can get it from Afishop or to other
the locations in the Gambia.
Also. Yeah.
In the Kotu.
Have it back out.
Yeah.
Again, around here also we don't here.
Yeah,
And
okay.
Senegal restaurant as well.
Okay, awesome. To all the people that are watching the podcast, like we will love you to go and support her, get her book and try to support, read it and start to get inspired by her, writing skills, author, a poetic, one of the finest in the Gambia, the future politician. I'll be part of your campaign managers.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I'll be glad.
Mashallah.
I'll be glad to be part of your party.
Let's pray for Allah.
Yeah, inshallah.
So that we can come up
Inshallah.
and change this.
Yeah. Like we just discussing. It's just a wide conversation. We're discussing things that need to be discussed. This is our Gambia. It's our land. Anything that we see that can improve our living and improve the society that we are in, I think we need to discuss about it. Sometimes normally I stay mute that on social media because normally so has a point of view but nga wasali ni rek people attack on you then they attack but then dama believe ne dañ wara rahas social media bi we have to clean criticism we need to accept.
I'm not saying information of character. We need to accept people to speak their mind. And when they speak their mind, don't try to stop them. Just if you believe that you have something to add on it or to counter on it, you can counter civilize. That's how a civilized world moves.
Awesome. Like final remarks like you continue from there but part 2. I'm not dina la amal. Part 2 so ñëwaatee boobu da ngaa jàngal gars da ngaa jàngal xale yi. You're gonna teach the kids. We are gonna venture into wider conversation and certainly we are gonna pick up topics. This one is more about your bio. But like when you come, we're gonna pick on topics, then we discuss about them.
Thank you so much. This is a great episode, and I believe that it will be a changing point for me. And
Inshallah.
those that don't know much about my work, I'm a writer, a poet, an activist as well. Inshallah, with a bigger dream that I believe in the next 5 years to come, we can change poetry faces in the Gambia and take it to the international market and make big things. That's the dream.
Tell them your socials, man. If they want to get in touch with you, follow or give a give a support.
They can follow me on Facebook. That is Saffia Joof. And I have a page too called SAFFIATOU JOOF, because we're trying to go out. I have a YouTube channel also, you can subscribe there. That is SAFFIATOU JOOF, and you'll be able to see the work I'm doing. So it's the right Saffia Joof official, and you'll be able to see my page and follow my work. So I also can be reached, on my email, that is info@saffiatoujoof.gm.
I will give you the opportunity to sell your business and any kind of business that you are doing. You can just tell them.
I'm into construction. And if you want to build your house to standard, please get in touch with me. We are very reliable people, and you have solid people that you can never expect before. And inshallah, rest assured, everything is guaranteed.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my sister.
Thank you too.
You're so beautiful.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.